This is the Irish Rally Podcast, brought to you in association with Tech and Tools, your dedicated tools provider focusing on diagnostic test equipment and specialised tools. Visit techandtools.ie for more information. And SVS Productions.
So here we are with James Fulton, fresh from Sweden. James, welcome to the show and thanks so much for being here.
Thanks very much for having me. Thank you.
We were just talking off air there. What a weekend. Like, how do you centre yourself or ground yourself after something like that?
Yeah, it was a mad one, all right. It's back to reality now. It's been a hectic few days, even when I come home, just with everything just getting back down there, I suppose. It's been incredible.
I know, yeah. And tell us, the weekend itself was completely insane. I would imagine being inside that rally car. Like, we were talking about the pace and stuff that is in Sweden in general, but just like this year in particular was just so intense.
Yeah, it was a big weekend. There was a lot going on, both mentally and physically. It was a tough one, but at that level, it's going to be so. But no, everyone, there was a lot of help there from everyone in the team and everything, and it was a great experience.
Yeah, and from your point of view, like in the car, what was the experience like? Obviously, you're no stranger to mileage in the co-driver seat, and you've sat with some of the top guys in Ireland for so long, but it must just be a different level when you get to the world stage.
It is, yeah. It's crazy, to be honest. But to be fair to Craig, he's a gentleman in the car. He's very accommodating, and no big stress or no big drama. Everything's quite relaxed, but I guess it has to be that way to be relaxed. You're going to perform the best. So it was pretty intense in the car. There's a lot of work going on, like outside the car, say between stages and stuff, with setup changes and everything. But once you're in the seat, let's say, with the notes in hand, it was an absolute pleasure. Going through the forest at that speed, it's incredible.
And is that truly where you are at your happiest, and all of the stress of the team or the world stage or whatever just disappears because that's you two guys in flow and in sync?
Yeah, definitely. I've said that to a few people after the weekend. It's just there's nothing like it when you're just flat out through the forest, and just when you're in the battle and it's the pace is hot, and just when there's like some corners that are maybe flat, and when he's taking them flat, it's just there's no feeling like it. Nothing compares to it. It's just the buzz is just incredible.
Yeah, and I would imagine then, obviously, whenever you get through the finish line and the helmets come off, and that's kind of when the big work starts again for you.
Yeah, definitely, yeah, because you have so long to get to the next stage and whatnot, but then there's so much changes to be made, and to try to get the best setup for each stage. Each stage is different, and there's work to be done with tires and pressures and everything, and it's just like, and especially in Sweden with so much snow accumulates in the car, you have to, you're taking off wheels and you're hanging in underneath the car on arches and everything, trying to get the snow off and get the car as light as possible. But it's work, but it's enjoyable. Like, you're giving yourself, in your head, you're giving yourself the best package for the next stage, and it's all like, it all comes down to 10 seconds. So it's every single thing is important.
And obviously, the weekend is such a joy, and every stage is probably magical. At the level you're at the moment, but like, was there any stage in particular where you just felt like cloud9 material? This is the top. This is it.
Them all probably, to be honest. There's a couple of ones. There was a couple on Saturday, or just and then especially when in the dark as well. It's just you're at 3 hours in the dark. It's insane. Yeah, but every stage is just a joy, to be honest.
And there was a lot of Irish flags on those stages as well. I mean, that must be an insane feeling to see that along the way too, especially in somewhere like Sweden.
Yeah, well, Craig was telling me I didn't didn't see many of them, to be honest.
Head wasn't up too much.
Yeah, but even in around service, so you see the lads going around. It's a bit mad. You can spot an Irish head a mile away. It's strange. When they're in
It doesn't
service,
matter where you are in the world, does it?
yeah, there's a few people, come and say hello and stuff, and it's just support was brilliant. Over there, there's a lot of Irish people work in the data centers in Sweden, and they come down for the weekend or whatnot to watch, and it was great. Even people travelled out for the weekend to watch, and I have to say the support it's like something I've never seen before. Even at home here, like the support I got from home and from Ireland and everywhere. To be honest, like a lot of people were behind us, and even my own town here at home, it's a lot of people that never even watched the rally before in their life were glued to it all weekend, and I was getting pictures and messages, and everyone really got involved, and I suppose it was a very exciting rally to watch with everything that was happening and the times close and with all the dramas, and the sport was incredible.
Yeah, I mean it is, and it's one of those things where those people stand and watch and do kind of make it what it is, and it does mean so much to you when you're actually in it, particularly in the hard moments, I would imagine.
Yeah, for sure. There's people watching, and everyone's saying they're proud and whatnot. It does make you feel really good, and it's just the sport does really, really, really helps.
And tell us, you mentioned I suppose some of the trickier parts of the weekend, some of the mishaps. There was, I suppose, issues with the tires and issues with the hybrid and stuff. How frustrating or worrying is that, particularly in somewhere like Sweden when you have such high pace?
Yeah, initially it's a worry, and you're like, gosh, what's going to happen? But yeah, you get straight back into it, and right, I have a job to do here, and we need to make the most of it. You have the mindset that you're never going to give up no matter what happens. So we just got on with it, and once we had the lamination, we changed the tire, and both said, right, let's just reset and go again. And same with, you come on a long weekend rallying like that, you're going to have problems, and everyone has their problems, but it's how you overcome them, and you just have to deal with them and not get too annoyed over it. But just have to deal with it, I guess. Exactly
that. Yeah. And tell us, do you think is that actually what makes the difference in the world stage? Like, is that what truly sets it apart, where yes, these stages are very long, these weekends, these events are very long, and with rallying, something's going to go wrong no matter what. You're never going to get into a rally car and just have a breeze of a weekend. I don't think it's ever happened. But is that truly the difference in the world stage, where you have to be able to let it go? The moment it happens, it has to be at the back of your mind, and you have to refocus and get going again.
Yeah, but it's the same at home. A lot of the guys at the high end of it here in Ireland, like, it would be of the same mindset as well. So it's just it's a accumulation of a lot of small things, like a lot of small, but like out there, the amount of people that's involved and there to help you with, like, physios and nutritionists, everything. There's it's all this fine, or all the small fine little details that all add up, I think.
Yeah, and I suppose actually that's an interesting point of view, because at the top of the game in Ireland, the professionalism and the money being spent and the time and effort that's put into the sport is actually incredible, for the fact that it's technically an amateur sport. But at the end of the day, whenever you have a world team behind you, yes, there's a little bit more stress and a little bit more pressure, but is that kind of what makes it maybe slightly easier than the fact that you have a full team and a full manufacturer behind you, and that if anybody can get the thing sorted out at the services, then it'll be you guys?
Yeah, I agree. But there's so many people in the team with Hanley. It's to be basically, they can't do enough for you. Everything. There's just so many people there basically to make our jobs less stress-free, say. But though in Ireland now, like, every year it's that end of things is increasing. Like, I'd still be in contact with a lot of the guys there, and still good mates obviously with them, and just the level of prep and level of everything in Ireland is just every year it's stepping up, and it's getting so much more like the WRC or the professional end of it.
Yeah. Do you think is that what has, Irish drivers and co-drivers and just Irish rally people in general have kind of gotten, they've gotten bigger jobs and bigger opportunities within the last couple of years within the higher spectrum of the sport? Do you think that does have, that is happening? Because in Ireland, we do have such an incredible level of professionalism, even though it's, as I say, like a hobby sport here. Like there's no prizes, there's no cash prizes at the end or anything. Do you think, like, because it's so competitive so early on in your career, if you ever step into rallying in Ireland, that you just have to be your best immediately?
Yeah, without doubt, it sets you up for it. It's the level in Ireland, like the competition level is, it's incredible, and it's a lot of people in our teammates in Hyundai, they'd be like keeping an eye on the Irish rallying. They think it's just like it's insane stuff, but it's definitely up there. The level in the competition and everything, it just prepares you. I think.
Yeah.
For myself, like I've learned so much in Ireland, and like everything, I brought that forward with me, and it's definitely standing to me.
Yeah, and I think even from the organisational and safety point of view as well, Ireland's truly up there at the top, like with some of the events that we run. So it's definitely good training.
For sure, yeah.
And so obviously, you're back from Sweden this week, and it's such. I mean, I can't imagine that you could put it into words what the whole weekend felt like, or what it meant to you. But how do you come down from that now and get yourself prepared for the next event?
Yeah, I come home, and I was home Monday afternoon, and I kind of took some time to myself with family and stuff and friends, and met up with friends, and I went for something to eat, and it was a good couple of days, but back into it now and back training and everything, and it's just getting ready for the next one now. It's I just try to get ahead of everything. It's there's so much time to prep, but there's always something to be done. So I really enjoy the prep end of things to get everything right, and having all the notes together and maps and everything. So we have FAF, ERC FAF now in a few weeks, 2 weeks, and it'll be our first round of the Portuguese program that we're doing with the Rally 2 car. So the competition there will be high because it's first round of the ERC also. So it's full steam ahead for that now, and just take one event at a time. Exactly.
And what is the plan for Portugal, for the plan of attack? Like, it's just go there as quick as possible.
Yeah, Portuguese championship, and it's Hyundai Portugal is behind us, and Sports and News. So it's there's only one aim, that's to win the championship. So really looking forward to the challenge, and Portugal's a really good place for rallying, and some really good people. So we're both really looking forward to it.
Amazing. And what does the day-to-day look like now for you, James? I mean, you obviously, you've got fitness. You were talking about how tricky, both mentally and physically, and draining weekends like Sweden were and always are on the world stage or on your stage or ERC stage or Irish. It doesn't really matter. But when you have an intense weekend like that, is it just about fitness now, or is it, like you obviously mentioned earlier, you're looking at notes for the next events and stuff like that? Is it just constant head into Portugal now and that's it?
Yeah, the day-to-day is I try to get up, I get up early in the mornings, and I usually go training first thing in the morning in the gym. I think it sets me up right for the day. And that or go for a run in the forest with the weather getting a bit better now, and then it's usually home and get something to eat, and then into the office, and it's just notes and maps and preparation. There's regulations, and it's just being as prepared as I can. But I really love the preparation and the things. Like I said, it's I love it, and there's notes from previous rallies that Craig has, and it's just getting them sorted on what works where. There's only some parts of some stages you might have notes for, and it's just getting everything sorted, and then being in constant contact with Craig, and that's generally my day. And then I take some time in the evening then just to take some time to myself, chill out from it, and spend some time with family and friends and my girlfriend. And it's just like you need to unwind too. You need your own time also.
Absolutely. I mean, it's in general, rallying is a very intense sport at the best of times, but especially at the level you're at the moment, I could imagine that it would override everything, and everything could very easily take a backseat. But it is vital to take those moments and that downtime and spend time with the people to kind of keep you grounded and focused.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a thing I make sure I do. Like, I think it's very important.
Well, come here. We are absolutely delighted that you took the time to speak with us. Your schedule sounds absolutely insane and very exciting, but it does mean a lot for us to be able to hear your point of view and to speak with you after such an amazing weekend. So do you believe that the amazing performance we saw in Sweden is just an early stages sign of things to come for 23 for yourself and Craig?
Yeah, without doubt. We're feeling confident, and the pace is there to be at the front, and we'll do everything we can to make sure that keeps happening.
Amazing, good man. Well, best luck with it, and again, thanks so much for being here with us, James.
Thanks for having me on. Thank you.
This is the Irish Rally Podcast, brought to you in association with Tech and Tools, your dedicated tools provider focusing on diagnostic test equipment and specialised tools. Visit techandtools.ie for more information, and SVS Productions.